Hello, Sumit. You're welcome to the continuation of this oversized two-piece video. So in this video, we are going to be making the shirt. And again, please take note of the measurements, okay, so that you will know what measurement give me this volume of shirt, okay? So you decide if you want yours bigger than mine or not as big as mine. Do you get? So to get started, I have my fabric already folded into two. So I went ahead to mark 2.5 of an inch. I'm just going to mark 2.5 of an inch all the way down. The full length I'm using for this shirt is 26 inches. It's 26 inches. So take note, if you want yours longer than my own, you can do more. If you want it shorter than my own, you can minus, okay? So don't forget that this mark is 2.5 of an inch. So I'm just going to go ahead to get the full length of the shirt, and after getting the full length of the shirt, I'm going to roll it across also. Now that we've gotten the full length, I'm going to get the armhole measurement. So I'm going to mark 9 inches downwards. The waistline is 15 inches. I'll do the same thing for this other side so that I can get a straight line for my circumference measurement. So I'm going to connect the markings I've made. So we have the chest line and the waistline, then the hem of the shirt. So now I'm going to take the shoulder measurement. My actual shoulder measurement is 15, okay? But I'm going to be doing 18 here. So I'm going to mark 9 inches as my shoulder measurement because the shirt is a big shirt. So the shoulder itself should fall, okay? It shouldn't be fitted. So from the marking of the shoulder, I came down by 1 inch to create my shoulder slopes, and I'm just connecting my armhole line. So everything about this shirt is going to be big. So I went ahead to mark 3 inches as the neck width. Then I connected my armhole and my shoulder slope to the 3 inches for the neck width. Then I'm going to create my armhole curve. I marked the midpoint of the armhole line, came down by ½ inch. Don't forget that we'll be creating the front and back armhole curve together. Okay, so after that, I'm going to go ahead to impute my bust measurement plus 2 inches for ease allowance, then 1 inch for sewing allowance. That's 3 extra allowances. Please take note. Then I went ahead to connect my armhole curve. Don't forget that this video is made up of the collar and the sleeve. Here I got the slit, the opening at the center of the sleeve. So we are now going to go ahead and connect for the back armhole. You know the back armhole, you don't need to come in by 0.5 of an inch, so I'll just connect it to the midpoint like so. So we have the front and the back armhole ready. So I'm going to impute my waist measurement plus 2 inches for ease allowance, 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then on the hem, I'm going to impute my hip measurement, 2 inches for ease allowance, 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then I'm going to connect all the lines together. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you. There is no me on YouTube without you. I'm grateful to you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share for other people to see, please. And don't forget to leave a review for me. Thank you very much. So, after connecting the lines like this, the next thing we are going to do now is to do the neckline. So the neck depth is also going to be 3 inches. You know it's a shirt, you don't have to make it too deep. So 3 inches for the neck width, 3 inches for the neck depth, and I'm going to connect with my curve ruler like so. So now we are going to cut it off, but you should wash the part I am cutting. So I'm just following the slope all the way up, and I cut out the excess thread at the edge of the fabric. I was just cutting out the threads there. So after that, we are going to go ahead to cut the side, but we are following the back armhole curve to cut. because we are going to use this fabric now to cut the back. So after cutting it this way, the next thing we want to do, the 2.5 of an inch that we marked, I will go ahead and notch it. I will notch on the lower part and on the upper part. Now you should understand that this 2.5 of an inch is for our button and the button hole. Okay, that's why we have the 2.5 of an inch. Now because we want to use this one to cut on the back, I will have to fold that 2.5 of an inch away because it does not have to affect the back. Okay, the back needs to just have my actual measurement and all the allowances because there's no button at the back, so we don't need the 2.5 that we folded. So now after folding that button area in, I'm going to place it on the fresh fabric that I've already folded into two. So after that, you can decide to just rule a straight line at the edge of the shirt, the shoulder slope area. You can decide to just rule a straight line with your chalk, but cutting it out will be easy because I will have to flip it. So I just cut this part out following the shoulder slope, okay? Then after that, I'm going to mark 3 inches downwards. I'm going to mark 3 inches downwards. So I will advise you cut your own also the same way I cut mine, following the shoulder slope so that you get that slant. Then you mark the 3 inches. When you mark 3 inches also and you roll it, it will still come out. The slant will still be there. Do you understand? So after that, I'm going to roll a straight line. So my measurement for the back now will start from this line that we've just chalked. So I'm going to arrange the front pattern on it accordingly. So you can see that the front pattern, it is starting from the slant line that we've created. So now we have to get the back neckline. So what are we going to do? These 3 inches that we've marked on the upper part, I'm going to fold it equally on it. I'll fold it this way, leaving half inch, making sure that half inch is resting on the slant line. The half inch that you use to join both the front and back together, okay? Then after that, I'm going to connect the back neckline with my chalk. So we're just going to trace it following the line for the front neckline. You just trace it like so. Can you see what I've done? Then go ahead and cut it. So I was struggling to cut this part because of the position I was recording this video, so it was kind of a struggle, but you just cut it out. I didn't want to shake the camera, so that's why I was struggling at this point. So you just cut the neckline out, and after cutting the neckline out, the next thing we are going to do is to cut the full bodies of the clothes. But you should make sure that before cutting on the armhole, the neckline, you must fold it, okay, the same way I folded it here. So we're just going to cut following the armhole line like so. Don't forget that this is the back armhole that we've done, and by the time we separate the front from the back, we are going to get the front armhole. Okay, so this is what we have after cutting. So we're done with the back. You can see how easy it is. Now we have to get the neckline for the front. We have to cut it, and we have to cut the armhole for the front. Don't forget that this front is on fold, the back also is on fold, and the front needs to be separated because it is carrying buttons. Okay, so I'm going to cut the neckline first. Then I'm going to cut the armhole. And then I'm going to slit it open at the center front. So if you have any question, please don't forget to ask. And please don't forget to leave a review. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like and share. Please engage my videos, please. So after cutting it this way, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to separate one of it, and I'll show us what to do with just one. I will do the other one off camera. So You know, this is the wrong side of the fabric that we're having the chokes, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'll first fold 1/2 inch in, then fold the other side into two and iron it. I'll take it again, fold 1/2 inch in like this, then fold the other half into two. So your folding must not exceed the 2.5 of an inch that will mark. Do you understand? I will go ahead and iron it and come back. So this is what we have. Now you can see that I did not exceed the 2.5 of an inch. This is the 1/2 inch I folded in before folding it into two again. Can you see? That's just it. It's very simple. I did the same thing for the other side. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to place the back pattern on the front pattern because I made a curve at the side of the shirt. Now you didn't see it because my hands were in my pocket at the beginning of the video, so you didn't see the curve, but there is a curve at the side of the shirt. So what am I going to do? I want to create the curve, so I have to spread them equally. Now you know that the front is bigger than the back with how many inches because of the button holes and the button area. So I'm going to come up by the side. From the side, I'm going to come up by 2 inches, and I will use my curve ruler to connect it. After connecting it, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Then once I'm done, I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and press this part down. I'm going to press it down. I'm going to sew it all through and come back. So here I've gone ahead to sew it on the both side of the front pattern. I've gone ahead to run a straight stitch, and this is what we have. Can you see what we have? So we're going to join the front and back together. So we're going to be starting our joining with the shoulder. So I'm spreading the back open and I'm going to place the front pattern on it. Don't forget that you're placing right side facing right side. I'm going to arrange the other side on it also. Then I will just go ahead and join the shoulders. After that, I've gone ahead to join the shoulders, and now we will have to join the side. So I'm going to arrange it, making sure that they are equal like so, and I will join with 1 inch. You know, we added 1 inch seam allowance. So now we're done joining the shirt. I'll just put it aside. Now we have to create the collar. So I have this paper is folded into two. So the first thing we are creating is the collar band. I'm going to bring the shirt so we can measure the shoulder, we can measure the neckline of the shirt. So this is the shirt on the table. I'm going to fold it into two and I will measure it. So it's easier to measure it like this than measuring it all round. Okay, the paper is into two, so whatsoever measurement I have here, and I'm going to put it on the paper with the paper unfold. So whatsoever measurement I get from the neckline of the shirt is what I will work with. So let's say the measurement I measured the neckline is 10 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 10 inches at this point. Then the width of this collar band is 1.5. I will mark 1.5. I'm going to measure 10 inch again to make sure that it is straight. Then I'm going to connect with my straight ruler. I'm going to square the edge up. Then we are going to cut this part out. So like this now, the collar band is ready. Don't forget that the paper is on fold. Okay, because we only measured half of the neckline, not the full neckline. We didn't measure the neckline round. Do you understand? So the paper has to be on fold. So now we'll have to make the main collar. So the first thing I'm going to do is to rule a straight line that will serve as a guide. Then after which, I'm going to go up by 2.5 of an inch. The full length of the collar is 10 inches, take note. Then I'm going to go on by 2.5 of an inch. So the edge also, I will do the same thing, 2.5 of an inch. Then I'm going to rule a straight line. After which I'm going to square the edge. And then on the end here, I'm going to come in by half inch. I will mark half inch. Use my curve ruler to connect it. I'm sorry that it wasn't showing fully at this point. I didn't know until I was done recording. So you just connect. So we're making a curve at the end. Don't forget that this is the part that is folded into two that we're making the curve on. Then on the lower part, I came in by 1 inch and created a slant like so. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and cut. So I labeled it the upper part and the lower part. So don't forget, it is the lower part of the collar that I came in by 1 inch to create a slant. Do you understand? So I'm going to go. So you see the curve we made at this other edge. So we just cut it off. And when I cut it off, I'll go off camera and use this paper to cut on fabric. But we're going to be cutting two pieces for both the main collar and the collar band. So this is what we have after we are done. So I'm going to use it to cut on the fabric and come back. So here I've gone ahead to cut on my fabric, and this is what we have. So like I said, there are two pieces, okay? So I'm just going to spread it. I'm going to open them up. Then place them on each other, right side facing each other. I'll open the other side up also. And place them on each other, right side facing right side. So we're going to sew this one first. So when I arrange this one, I'm going to sew from the lower part of this one upwards like this and come back. So after that, I've gone ahead to sew it, and this is what we have. I've gone ahead to flip it to the right side. So now we have to notch the midpoint. I went ahead to iron it too so that it will be easy. So after notching the midpoint, I have to notch the midpoints of the collar band also. So after notching the midpoint, we are going to use the collar bands to turn the main collar. So going to place the midpoints together like so, right side facing right side. Then we are going to pin it together at the midpoint. After pinning it, I'll go to the machine and sew. But this is how I'm going to sew it. And I'm going to sew both sides of the collar band also. So here you can see that I've gone ahead to sew and I'm flipping it to the right side. So after flipping it, I'll go to the ironing table and give it a nice press, then I'll come back. So here I've gone ahead to iron it. Now we have to notch the mid part of it. So you fold it into two and you notch the middle. So after notching the middle, the next thing we are going to do now is to go ahead and attach the collar to the shirt. Now the way I like to attach my collar, I don't like to just place the collar on the shirt and just run a straight stitch and weave it. No. It is more comfortable on your neck if you do this, if you attach the collar to the shirt this way. So I'm going to open up the collar band. You know there are two pieces. So I'll open it up like so, and I'll pin one down to the neckline first. So I'm going to pin this one round it. I'm just going to pin it round it. So I'm just going to forward this part so that we don't waste time. I'm just pinning one part of the collar band round the neckline. So after pinning it, I'll go ahead and sew it and come back. So after sewing it, this is what we have. So I've gone ahead to remove the pin. Now we have to use the other side of the collar band to turn this side, okay? So now you can see the joining at that side. I'm going to fold this other second part of the collar band on top of that first part that we've already sewn, and I'm going to pin it. So when you're folding in, you make sure you don't fold too much. Make sure you are folding the same amount of fabric you use in joining the other side of the collar band so that they are equal. So I'm just going to go ahead to pin. I will pin it all across, and I will be pinning it very closely. After pinning it all through, this is what we have. So I will flip it to the right side and I'm going to sew. So I'm going to run a straight stitch on the same line I used in joining the other side of the collar band before. Then after that, this is what we have. Gone ahead to sew it. The collar is ready, so we have to do the sleeve. So how did I achieve the sleeve? I have my normal basic sleeve pattern, okay? So the full length of the sleeve, I want to use 18 inches for the full length of the sleeve. Now, I'm using the normal sleeve pattern because I don't want to draft from the beginning. So I marked 18 inches. After the 18 inches, I added extra 3 inches to it. 3 inches is to get the opening at the edge. So I'm going to roll a straight line, the full length of the sleeve and the extra 3 inches. So I'm going to place the fabric is folded into four, so we are cutting the two sleeves together. So I'm going to place my basic sleeve pattern on it and I'll pin it down. If you've not seen how to make your basic sleeve pattern, I have a detailed video of it on my channel. I'll drop the link in the description box for us to see. So you can see me pinning it down. After pinning it down, you know everything about this shirt is big, so the sleeve also has to be big. So after pinning the basic sleeve down, I'm going to bring the shirt and I will measure the armhole of the shirt. So I'll measure the armhole of the shirt. It was measuring about 11.5 of an inch. So whatever measurement your armhole gives to you, that's what you'll work on. So if your armhole is 10, you're going to measure 10 inches like this. Then make sure you're following the curve. Can you see? Then you mark. Like you don't have to draft another sleeve. So I'm just going to follow the curve like that. Then after that, on the length of the sleeve, I went ahead to mark, but I checked the marking we have on the cap height and I minus about 2 inches from it to get this part. So I went in by 1 inch, went in by 1 inch. Then I'm just going to roll a straight line. So why did I go in? Because I figured that it will be too big. So let me go in by 1 inch and use the other 1 inch for sewing allowance. So that's just what I did. Yes. So like this now, we have gotten the sleeve. I'm just going to go ahead to cut. Now you know that if you've seen my updated sleeve pattern, you know that the sleeve pattern, it has the side that will fit for the front armhole and it has the side that will fit for the back armhole. So for this one that we're cutting, we have not already created that part. So this armhole curve is just the back armhole. We are going to cut the part for the front armhole when we are cutting before fitting the sleeve to the shirt. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the paper so that we can work. You see me notching this extra 3 inches are added. You see me notching that place. So we are going to remove because The notch has to be there so that when I'm folding, I'll know that I'm not folding more than the 3 inches and I'm not folding lesser than the 3 inches. So I'll also notch the midpoint because you know it is at the center of the sleeve that we have that cut. So after that, I'm going to spread it open. Now I'm going to mark this other part of the sleeve as the wrong side. You know we already have chalk at the other side. So we are going to fold the extra 3 inches. Now this is why I notched it. So we are going to fold it in. Then I'm going to fold the both sleeves into two. Just to get the midpoint of the sleeves. After folding them into two equal parts like this, I'm going to go in by the 3 inches. You know it's 3 inches we added. I will mark it. Then I came down. I'm flipping it to this other side of the camera. So you see 3 inches. I will also mark 1.5 of an inch. That's the length of the slit. Then half inch. I'll just make half inch opening, marking at the edge, and I'll connect a slant line like that. Then I'm going to cut it off. So by the time I open it off now, we've gotten the opening that is at the center of the sleeve. But how do you sew it? So at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate the sleeves. So we can work with one. So I'm going to put one of the sleeve aside. So for this particular one, first of all, fold the 3 inches, fold it to the wrong side of the sleeve first. Do you understand? Then I'll go ahead and iron it down and come back. So this is what we have after ironing it. Now, this is what I did. This is me opening it up. I first of all folded half inch inside and iron it. Then before folding the 3 inches away like that. So after that, flip it open like this and pick the middle like this. Go ahead to the machine and sew following the V cut. Then here I've gone ahead to sew it following the V cut. So now we have to flip it to the right side. So this is what will give us the cutting at the center of the sleeve. This is what we've just done. It's very easy to make. So now what do? I'm going to arrange it very well. Go back to the sewing and go back to the ironing table and iron it. Now, if you don't want any stitch line, you can use hemming gum, but I don't have the original hemming gum. So I'm just going to press it down with a sewing machine. I'm going to sew it down. So this is what we have. You can see that I've ironed it and I've gone ahead to sew it down. You can see that the two sleeves are ready. So now I'm going to place the both sleeve on each other, right side facing right side. I will arrange them equally on each shoulder. You know I told you that this sleeve pattern has the part for the front and the part for the back. So we are going to get the part for the front. The part for the front is meant to be deeper. It's meant to have a deeper curve. So that's what I want to get here because I want my sleeve to fit perfectly to the armhole. So I'm going to place the sleeve pattern on it starting from the middle because you know of course this sleeve is bigger than my normal sleeve, so that's why we have all of those excess allowances. But I'm going to follow it to trace the curve for the front. You can see that even the sleeve pattern is labeled as front and back, so the part with the deeper curve is the front. So I'm just going to cut extra from my distance from my fabric. I'm just going to follow it to cut. So after cutting it up, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to join the sleeve. So I'm going to separate the sleeves, fold it on the right side, then we're going to join from the wrong side of the sleeve with the 1 inch we added for sewing allowance. After that, this is what we have. I'm going to flip the sleeve to the right side so that we can join it to the shirt. So once you have followed the curve, the one that is for the front and the one that is for the back, when you are placing your sleeve, make sure that you are placing the right sleeve on the right side. Do you understand? Because you have to follow the curve. So if you pick any sleeve and you see that the side that is meant to follow the right is not the deeper part, you know that is the other sleeve that is meant to fit into it. So how do I fix my sleeve? When I want to fix my sleeve, I will put the sleeve, you know, I've already flipped the sleeve to the right side, so I'll put it inside the shirt. Then I will pin the armhole of the sleeve to the armhole of the shirt. Do you see where my hand is? That's the first place I will pin down. Then from there I'll pin the sleeve round. The sleeve goes round it because, you know, when I was drafting the sleeve, it is the armhole measurement I use in drafting the sleeve, so it fits well. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin it round, then I'll go ahead to the machine and join it. So if you don't have the patience of pinning, you can just go ahead and sew. You can actually just sew it like that, but I'm just showing us. So after pinning it all around, I'll just go to the machine and join the sleeve, sew it all around, and we are done with the shirt. And that brings us to the end of the video. So that's how easy it is to make the sleeve, the shirt, the collar, and everything about an oversized shirt. So like I explained earlier, if you want yours bigger than mine, use more extra allowances when you're drafting or when you're cutting. So it's just as simple as that. So this is the shirt on my body like you saw at the beginning of the video. If you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to leave a review for me, please. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.